All right, so have you ever fixed your neighbor's Wi-Fi or maybe your parents and had that little thought like, huh, I actually kind of liked that? If that sounds familiar, then you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to map out the entire journey from where you are right now to a real thriving career in information technology. And you know what the best part is? You don't need some special background, you don't need a fancy degree to get started, so let's just dive right in.
Okay, so the very first dragon that most of us have to face is that little voice in our heads, right? The one that says, it's too late, or I'm just not the right person for this. Well, I want you to meet Priya. Her story is just one of thousands, and it proves that your starting point has absolutely nothing to do with your destination. In fact, your life experience, that's an asset, not a liability.
So, why is now the perfect time to even be thinking about this? Well, it's because of this number right here, 667,000. That is a huge number. And that's how many brand new IT jobs the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics is projecting by 2032. I mean, this isn't just some passing trend, this is a fundamental shift in our economy. The demand for people who can solve tech problems, it is absolutely exploding.
Okay, so let's break that down. What does that actually mean for you? Well, for starters, it means there's a super high demand for the skills you're going to learn. It means the barrier to get in is way lower than you probably think. It also means the chance for remote, flexible work. And on top of all that, a clear career ladder to a great salary and skills that are, no joke, future-proof. All right, before we can start building your new career, we've got to clear the ground first. And that means we need to take a metaphorical sledgehammer to the biggest, most common myths that stop people dead in their tracks before they even take that first step.
Okay, this is it. This is the big one. This is the question that holds so many people back. It's this idea that you have to spend 4 years and tens of thousands of dollars on a degree just to get your foot in the door. But is that really true?
I mean, let's just look at the math here. A 4-year degree can definitely be valuable, no doubt. But for a ton of IT roles, the top employers care way more about what you can actually do. A certification, on the other hand, proves your skills in a fraction of the time and for a fraction of the cost. Think about it from a hiring manager's perspective. It shows them you can tackle complex topics on your own. The main takeaway here is really simple. In the world of tech, practical hands-on skills are the real currency, not a piece of paper.
All right, let's tackle the next dragon. This is the myth that IT is some kind of secret club, right? That it's only for geniuses who were basically born typing code. Do you really have to be some kind of brilliant inventor to make it in this field?
Well, surprise. The truth is, IT is way less about being some lone genius and way more about being a persistent, methodical problem solver for other people. Seriously, you are going to spend way more time calmly explaining why the Wi-Fi isn't working to a frustrated colleague than you ever will rewriting the core of an operating system. So look, if you can stay curious, and if you can just push through that feeling of frustration, you already have what it takes.
Man, this next one, it's a personal one for a lot of people. It's that fear, that sinking feeling that the tech train has already left the station and you've just been left behind on the platform. So let's talk about the reality of that.
Okay, just consider this one number, 32. That's the average age of someone changing careers and entering the IT field. The reality is tech changes so incredibly fast that literally everyone is constantly learning. It doesn't matter if you're 18 or 60. And all that experience you have from your previous career, that's not a setback. Believe me, it's a huge advantage.
All right, so with those myths totally busted, it is time to gear up. This next part is all about the essential toolkit you're going to need to succeed. And we're going to start with the single most important tool in that entire kit, your mindset.
Listen, this right here, this is everything. If you have a fixed mindset, you're going to hit your first error message and just quit. But a growth mindset, that sees the exact same error message as a clue, as part of a puzzle. You have to remember, confusion isn't failure. It's just the feeling of your brain literally building new connections. The most powerful phrase you can ever learn to say is, I don't know this yet.
You know, the single biggest mistake I see beginners make is just binge watching tutorials like it's a Netflix show without ever touching the keyboard. Learning IT is a hands-on sport, okay? You have to get in the game. Watch a short demo for maybe 5 minutes, then you pause the video and you try it yourself. Then break it. Break it on purpose to see what happens and how you can fix it. And then try to explain what you did to someone else. A good rule of thumb is super simple. For every 1 hour you spend watching, you should be spending 2 hours practicing.
Okay, so where do you actually start?
Well, you start with a certification that hiring managers actually respect. First up, the CompTIA A+. Think of this as the universal passport for general IT work. It covers troubleshooting computers, networks, the whole deal. Then there's the Google IT Support Certificate. This one is absolutely brilliant for career changers who are aiming for that first help desk job. And if you're at all curious about the cloud, which, let's be real, is where everything is going, then the Azure Fundamentals Cert is your ticket in.
All right, now we get to the really fun part. You've got the right mindset, you know how to learn the right way. Now it's time to choose a path and actually start your quest. This is where all that theory starts turning into real-world skill.
Look, don't get overwhelmed by the dozens and dozens of crazy job titles out there. It really just boils down to your personality. Think of it like this. Do you genuinely love helping people solve their problems? Then you're a helper, and you're perfect for IT support. Do you love solving puzzles and the idea of stopping digital bad guys? You're a guardian, and you're headed for cybersecurity. What if you enjoy building huge connected systems from the ground up? Then you're a builder, and you love working in the cloud. Or maybe you just prefer structure and keeping everything running smoothly and efficiently. Then you're an organizer, the classic systems administrator.
And you know what the best part of all this is? You can start practicing right now, today, without spending a single dime. You can use something called VirtualBox to run a computer inside your computer, which is like a totally safe sandbox to experiment in. Microsoft and Cisco have free learning platforms, and websites like TryHackMe give you these amazing game-like labs right in your browser. I'm telling you, there are zero barriers to getting real hands-on experience today.
Okay, so let's put all these pieces together. What does this whole journey actually look like in real life? It is so important to be able to visualize your destination. That's what keeps you motivated when things get tough. This isn't just a daydream. This is your potential future.
And look, this isn't some vague, far-off dream. This is a realistic roadmap. In year one, you start at the help desk. You become the go-to person, the hero who solves everyone's everyday tech problems. Then in year two, you start to specialize. Maybe you become a systems administrator, managing the company's critical servers. And then by year three, you can leverage that specialty into a super high-demand role, like a cloud engineer, literally building the infrastructure of the internet. This path is 100% achievable. And if you take away only one single thing from all of this, please let it be this quote. Make this your new mantra. I don't need permission to start. I don't need to know everything. I just need to take the next small step. You don't need anyone's approval, and you definitely don't need to have all the answers right now. All you need to do is focus on that one very next step right in front of you. So really, the only question left is this one. You have the map. You have the tools. You have the mindset. You are so much more ready for this than you think you are. Just take a look around you right now at all the technology you use every single day. Your hero's journey, it begins right now. So what are you going to fix first?